A note on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. With the snow in the background. This is the first day with such a setup for these notes. This is number 4 for today. But starting only last summer, we never had this great view. After a bad blizzard last night though. So, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is probably one of the most known stories, or at least headlines and main themes. What I'm trying to say is that I'm guessing that many people, many readers know about this, have been through it years ago, and they're left with the main theme. And even those who didn't read it, they have it. They know about it. They heard about it in some films or plays or other books which refer to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So what I'm trying to say is that the whole story is not so well known, but just this fact that Dr. Jekyll becomes Mr. Hyde in one way or another. And I'm thinking of some films, plays, books, where I remember hearing lines of dialogue which sounded like that, like this. So what's happening to him? Is he becoming Mr. Hyde? Or in another context, in another place? So what is he? Is he a Dr. Jekyll? But just in the sense of transformation, of becoming someone else, of meeting friends, or just unknown people, new acquaintances, and having a feeling that, well, this what's wrong? And that turned into the, well, not so common dialogue vocabulary, but still, you probably hear it depending on where you are. You don't hear it in China, I'm sure, as much as you probably hear it in Britain, and especially in the, I don't know if the most cultivated circles, but those who are more aware of culture and literature and so on. But having in a near circle people who change a lot, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde come to mind. It's not as frequent as Frankenstein. He's a Frankenstein. But they've created a monster of Frankenstein. But still, it's a powerful name. It's a title, but behind the title, I'd say many people know the transformation, and that's the bizarrery of this work, which I listened to a couple of days ago in what looked like an adaptation. I'm not sure if it was for the BBC. Sounded like, because it was an audio format. And I was also thinking that part of the message is that we all have a gentler side, a better, more humane side within. And if we're not careful, well, we can let the monster come up. So this work is very important and worthwhile and powerful. The message is powerful because I think it's also a matter of knowing yourself. The famous quote comes to mind: "The life unexamined is not worth living." But it's not just that. It seems, after reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, if you do not examine yourself and are not careful, the Dr. Jekyll, the kind man or woman inside you can become, in circumstances, can become a terrible human being. And indeed, another book comes to mind, The Science of Happiness, Stefan Klein, a German scientist, and in it he talks about the prejudice we have. It was thought that letting anger vent itself, letting steam off, it can be good. I mean, I have these feelings repressed, so I better let them express themselves. Well, it's not. It's not the subject of this note. So I'll just say briefly that it seems to me that this is one way we can become Mr. Hyde, according to Stefan Klein. We think that we can allow our repressed angers get outside, and we think this is good, but then Stefan Klein says we create the wrong pathways. I think I will come back with Dr. Jekyll for a new note, because this one was not enough.